without changing the beliefs. And it's hard. And it works for a while, and then it stops working. Let's take the guy who doesn't have much confidence, is not secure about himself. So he goes to speak to a coach or whatever, and so what happens to you? Yeah, he said, I was telling a joke, and then they sort of laughed, but not really, and I was thinking, oh, they didn't like that joke. And then I'm over here, and they start laughing. He said, so what did you do then? He said, yeah, then, for an example, I got really angry, because it's not okay they do that. I said, so what did you do? He said, so I went back, and I really told them that it's not okay they do that. And then carried on, he said, so what would you like to do? He said, yeah, he said, I'd like to tell them in a better way that they shouldn't do that. Okay, so find some strength and go back and tell them. And he can do it, but not really. Because he doesn't really believe. All he's doing is changing his behavior, but his inner belief is still the same. He's still the same insecure guy. Now he's just trying to change his behavior. And it's so difficult to keep going because he doesn't believe he's like that. He doesn't believe he's strong enough to tell these guys, but he can force himself. Yeah? And it's a bit like, sorry about this. It's a bit like, I can think of a programming analogy for doing this, you know. We've got a little, a simple accounting system. And inside this accounting system, there's just a simple function. I don't know if you can read it. And it's there for subtracting two numbers, A and B. And what it does, it subtracts B from A. So it gives us A minus B. When we supply two numbers in, A and B, it will give us the results of A minus B. So we come in and we test in the system and we pass two numbers in. We have a little function that calls it. Passes in A and B correctly, and then we get B minus A out. So there's a problem. So Brian, being the bad developer he is, he thinks I can fix this really quickly. I'll just multiply the answer by -1. Yeah, and I pass that out. Is it okay? Is that a good solution? Not really, yeah? And it's exactly the same thing with changing our behavior. You know? Instead of going to the core of the issue and changing and looking at our beliefs, we spend so much of our lives looking at our behavior. And I believe it's so much better if we look at our beliefs. Yeah? So how do we find them? How do we find what we really believe? How do we catch hold of these small things that happen to us? How do we catch hold of our inner voice that tells us these things? Well, there's so much goes on every day. You know, I'm getting ready this morning. And it's an okay time. This morning it doesn't feel quite right. And the other day I had an orange one on. I had it on at my daughter's wedding. I'll put that one on. And then I thought, I can't put that one on because I had that on the other day. And then people will think, he had that on the other day. Does anybody care? And look what he's got on. Yeah? So just think about that. You know? It's a silly example, but think how we've gone on, imagining what people are thinking. I mean, who cares? Just small things like this that can affect us. We want to do so much with our lives. we want to be a better tester. We want to maybe be a test manager. We maybe want to start our own business. We maybe want to be a consultant. But we hold back. And it's the fear that holds us back. It's these beliefs. But they're so secret and hidden that we can't really get hold of them. And it takes a while. But one place to start is if you start hearing yourself say this: I want to become a test manager, but I can't because blah 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 blah. Can anybody think of one? Anybody? Anybody brave enough to say it? Anybody? No? I wish I could. I mean, we're not talking about beliefs here. I want to climb Mount Everest next week, but it's going to take me 2 weeks. These are beliefs such as, I want to go and learn this skill. Somebody the other day said, I want to get better domain knowledge. But they're not very friendly to ask. So what we're saying really is, I'm afraid to ask. That's what we're saying. So it's this but. I want to drive along the road in peace, but the other drivers keep interfering with me. I want to wear an orange tie, but the people keep thinking about that I've only got one tie, for example. If it wasn't for this, then I could do that. Yeah? What about you gentlemen at the back? Have you done any?
I wish I could be a pilot, but I'm too old.
There you go. How old does a pilot have to be?
Younger than me.
Is that similar to mine? Are you not allowed to, or?
I guess so. Probably with my eyesight as well.
Does he know? Is it okay I pick on you a bit?
It's fine, yeah.
Did you hear what he said? Is it against the law? I don't know. I guess so. I guess my eyesight. Maybe pilots are allowed to wear glasses. I don't know. But he's told himself he's not allowed. And there's his story. And it probably stops him from even looking. Do you want to be a pilot?
I have looked.
You have looked and you are too old.
I'm too old and I can't afford to pay to train.
There you go then. Any others? Realistic beliefs maybe? And this is where it's a risk. This is where the presentation is a risk, because I'm counting on you having some limiting beliefs that are easy to access. Anybody got one? I'm jumping out of the fishbowl here. Come on. Anybody got a story like this one? Wouldn't you like this one? Wouldn't you like that one? What's holding you back? What was the gentleman's the other day? Mr. CEO we called him, yeah? What was it? I want to go talk to my CEO, but he's really scary. Or I'm afraid, Tell him then. Oh, no. So, will you like this one instead? Or this? I'm going to have to take this a different tack then. Who'd like to try something that they wouldn't have believed they'd be trying today? I need 3 people. Alicia, I'm going to pick on you. Anybody else? I'm out on a risk here. Come on. Will somebody help me move this table?
No. I don't want to die.
do is challenge the way that you believe. Every time say, do I really believe this? Is it true? So we've got you, Alicia, that volunteered. Anybody else? Shall I pick on someone? Roll my sleeves up together. I want to pick Paul, but I can't because you'll think I've planted him. Anybody? Yes, thank you, sir. I'll just go behind the tent. Come on, I'll take you. I don't know if you may not be able to see this, but so come up here if you want, anybody. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, let's get this out of the way. Meanwhile, the rest of you, I'm going to come and pick on you in a minute. I'm going to find someone who's got a limiting belief. Now, you've got these you can hold, or you've got this one. This is really damn scary. I think it's fun. So you want this one?
I think I have a choice.
What you've got a choice. You can sit down again. So look, what I want you to do is hold it over your forefinger, like this. Yeah? No, just over with the whole string. Like this, but over the forefinger. Sorry you guys, you can see my best side. For this. So down a bit. And hold it over the centre of the... You got it right? Or do you want to fight? He doesn't want to fight, but he's younger and he's bigger.
Smaller size.
So, I want each of you to think of something where, how did you know you needed it so low? Almost like that, that's all right. Yeah. No, I wasn't talking to you. Can you see all this belief going on? Can you see it just there? Anybody spot it? So I moved this gentleman. Look at that now. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? You see it? What did I do? What did I do? So I moved this gentleman here a bit higher up. I'll explain why afterwards. And Alicia looks and lifts hers up. Put it back down again. I've never had so much control over a lady before. I didn't get that one. Or again. Yeah. He knows my beliefs. So are you ready? So think of something where you were powerful or happy. Something really positive and you can feel it inside you. Bubbling up. I did this. Yeah? You have any problems?
Yeah.
What about when you were a child? What did you love to play with?
Basketball?
Basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah. You good?
Yes, kind of. Because I'm tall.
Yeah, because you're tall.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine you're playing with the small kids.
Right.
Yeah? Feels good. Yeah, can you see him? Okay, so you imagine that, about how that energy was. What about you, Alicia?
Probably winning some competition or something.
Okay, you were in competitions?
Something like that.
Yeah, good. Okay, so imagine that, what it was like. Can you just put your fingers inside it? Like that. Oh. Anybody wants to come up, just come up, because you can't see anything back there. I didn't tell you to swing it. It's just swinging. Okay, then you have got something good you do. Where you, oh, yeah, good. So I want you to imagine that. Focus on the pendulum. Focus down in here. You keep your eyes down in here now, okay? Just keep focused on here. And remember that thing that happened, that you were doing. You don't need to think about that. Keep focused here, okay? And just imagine that beautiful energy you've got there. Yes! I'm bigger than them. I can put it in the basket or whatever you're imagining. Just imagine. And just imagine, just let yourselves imagine that you can send that energy down your arm. Just imagine. And just imagine that energy goes into the pendulum and into these things. It's almost like you're sitting in there with that energy. And just imagine with that energy you can allow yourselves to imagine that the pendulum can start swinging backwards and forwards along that line, either A and B or C and D. Just imagine it starts to swing. That's right. Just imagine it starts to swing. And as it starts to swing, you can imagine, just keep going. Imagine it can swing further and further out, along that line between C and D, if you want to do that. Just imagine it starts to swing further and further. Because it's a bit surprising that it starts swinging, you can imagine that energy can get it to swing further and further and further. Just imagine that competition now, yeah? But you can imagine it swing along that line between A and B. Just imagine that little girl. She can allow it to imagine that it can swing. I just sitting on a swing. That's it. Just imagine, yeah, that wow. Give her that wow, that little girl there. Just let her swing with her legs going backwards and forwards. That's it. Just allow her to play with it. You don't need to do anything. She can just play with it, swing. Just allow that kid who's playing basketball there, imagine that energy, swinging further and further. And let yours go further and further. And then in a moment, just imagine that you can, that little guy can make it swing in a circle, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Just imagine that kid there, that big kid, allows it to swing in a circle. That's right, round and round and round. And you look at that little girl, just let her play. I know you don't let her play. Just imagine she can do it. Just by imagining she's swinging it round and round. Just imagine, just give him that energy now. Let him be who he wants to be. Let him imagine that he can swing all the way out to the end of the circle. Just imagine, just let it go free. Let it go free. If you want to do it that way, do it that way. Or whatever you want to do it, just let it go. Anybody want to look? Come on, Steve, stand up, have a look. Just allow it to keep going. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very brave of you. Thank you. What I want to ask you, okay, this is a bit, it's a bit of fun, but, well, I'll leave this now. Someone have a look now. You go in at their behaviour, pull harder, yeah, but he's better than me. You know, it's so difficult then. But if we go in at this beliefs level, things happen. I don't know if if you were observing him closely, there was some emotion. It feels like we're pulling this stick out of the ground. And suddenly, what we're going in is a small belief. Just a small belief. Can you remember what he said at the end? Can you remember? What did he say? Someone shouted, not you. Someone shouted what he said. Now I can do anything. And it feels like that, doesn't it? It feels like that. Because we're going in at this level. And things change. Things change so much the better. So it's okay to go in and look at your behaviour. Believe you can, or believe you can't. Either way, you'll be right. Either way, you'll be right. So, you want to be this one instead of this one? Take out the stick. Take out the stick. Find someone who can help you look at your beliefs or look at your own and challenge them. Do this. If you want to learn about this, send me an email. No obligation. I'll send you this with instructions how to do it. You can do it yourself.